As Cowboys fans, this is what you've been looking for. A show discussing the team you love without all the fluff and BS. Host Greg Rector, along with Cowboys writers and content creators from across the country, break it down. This isn't the same old, same old. This is the blue and silver breakdown. How about them Cowboys?
Hey everybody, this is Greg Cowboys 1964. Last Thursday's game against the Detroit Lions. Let's go there first. Yet again, his defensive scheme sucked yet again. He started out with the 5-man fronts, and we got pressure on Goff and all that good sort of stuff. And then he went right back to his typical zone defense. Why would you run a zone against Amon St. Brown and Jameson Williams, who love to cut across the middle of the field? That's their offense, and they get yards after the carry. Well, you disrupt those guys at the line by press manning them. That's what you do. But again, Eberflus has this bizarre habit of backing his guys off. And, yes, you're going to give up a big play to one of them or both of them at given times just because the way that they are such good receivers. But again, you can't allow these guys to cut in front of your face like that and just go. That was a horrible effort defensively. It really did suck. The 31st ranked defense in the NFL. It's disgusting. It is really disgusting. But again, Mr. Eberflus continues to carry on with the craziness as far as that zone defense goes. It really does boggle my mind the way that he just stopped using the 5-man pressure. And again, the Cowboys defense just does not play well in his zone defense. There are times when you use a zone, but it's not as often as you do, Matt. It's just not. You've got to stop this. You have to play using the guys that you have on your team, what they're capable of doing. And again, why Kenneth Murray is always out in that field is beyond me. I know you didn't select Leofau, but that man needs to be out there a lot more than Kenneth Murray does. But again, this is always the case that you have when you have a new defensive coordinator who didn't draft the guys, blah blah blah. That's just the other nonsense of the NFL, and it happens on every team. When they have changes at their positions, coaching positions. If you're not one of their draftable guys, they don't pay much attention to you and all that other sort of stuff. But I just don't understand that. It really boggles my mind as to why that happens. The Lions, of course. The David Montgomery touchdown, that was just I have no idea what the Dallas defense was doing on that play. None. It was just horrifying to see. Again, and this is where Kenneth Murray comes into play. What were you doing on that play? I don't get it. You just were absolutely out of position. Absolutely gone. But again, he's the guy that's out there way more than Logan Wilson is. I mean, it boggles my mind. It really does. Sam Williams is always out in the field. I don't get that either. Yesterday, Jadeveon Clowney missed the game. Okay, that's one reason why Sam Williams was out there. But man, it was just horrifying to watch. Of course, I did say this isn't the draft show yet because the Eagles lost again last night. Oh, what did I tell everybody? There's no way that the Eagles were going back as a Super Bowl team this year. There was no way. Just like I said, the Chiefs weren't. There was no chance in hell that this Eagles team was coming back to a Super Bowl. Why? Because initially, before Roseman made his changes with the trades that he did, his defense had lost 4,500 snaps. That's way too many snaps to lose with a unit that was so good last year. Um, they are the team right now. I mean that defense that Howie has, but again, when you see Jalen Hurts not read defenses, you see him not reading a defense. Teams understand that. They know he doesn't like throwing across the middle. They know it. He always goes to the outside. It's very simple. And of course, Mister I'm always open. AJ Brown dropped a couple of passes as well. Um, that was that's going to happen. Of course, you don't normally throw an interception, recover a fumble, then fumble yourself. That was a very rare occasion. Again, the Eagles offensive line with Landon Dickerson being in and out, and Lane Johnson being out right now, they're a shell of themselves. They are a shell. So again, this is why it's not a draft show this week, because the Cowboys still have a chance to win this NFC East. It could happen. It really could happen, and we'll see what happens. But you know, it really does amaze me that after the 3-game performance that the defense had shown, using 5-man pressures and all that good sort of stuff, that they came out and sucked against the Detroit Lions. And again, that goes to you, Eberflus. I'm sorry, it just does. Um, it really drives me off the deep end to see the Cowboys defense play that lousily after having played so well the previous three games. Um, so let's look ahead to the Minnesota Vikings game. I do want to mention Ryan Flournoy was great against the Lions. George Pickens took too many plays off, sadly. But again, this is who Pickens was at Georgia. He doesn't like to not be involved in a play. Therefore, he'll take a play off. Well, Mr. Pickens, when CD Lamb is out and you're the number one guy, you have to be the guy that will block for others. You have to be the guy that gets the ball. That one pick was terrible. But hey, these things happen in the game of the NFL, right? But Mr. Pickens, you did take too many plays off against the Lions. But Ryan Flournoy was just fantastic. His second 100-yard game of the season. And, CD, of course, had the 6 catches until he got his concussion, which basically that basically really did suck. CD Lamb should play after his concussion, however, because he'll have the 9 days off in between. The 10th day is the game. So he should be able to play against the Minnesota Vikings. This Vikings team has basically sucked all year. And reading and seeing things on YouTube and stuff, I've been seeing a lot of Brian Flores' blitzes and all that other sort of. Oh, really? You want to blitz? Okay, you come and blitz Dak Prescott, because Mr. Prescott will eat you alive. He will eat you alive. Why? Because that means CD Lamb and George Pickens will get one-on-one coverage. So you want to blitz? Go ahead, Mr. Flores. You go ahead and blitz. I would advise you to have your coverage guys getting a little more assistance than you trying to blitz, but you go ahead. JJ McCarthy, I don't get his whole attitude about his face paint and all this other BS. You want to come out and be a defensive player? That's what you need to do, because as a quarterback, no, your job is to be a manager of the offense. You don't need to face paint yourself up and do all this nonsense that you have been doing, young man. Um, that is just utterly bizarre to me. Utterly bizarre. Um, the Vikings again have sucked most of this year. Justin Jefferson is not a happy camper. Oh, that breaks my heart. Uh, and Justin Jefferson in his last two games against the Cowboys, he has sucked anyway. He has absolutely sucked. Why? Because Matt, it's because he gets press manned. Hi, do you understand that, Matt Eberflus? That's how you stop these guys. Is to press man. You don't sit back in the zone defense. It is stupid to do that. You don't give a receiver like Justin Jefferson space. You're on that man. That's how Trayvon Diggs has had such great numbers against him, because he is a very good press man cover corner. That's how you stop these guys. Why you insist on all this zone is beyond me, Eberflus. It really is. You don't have the players to play the zone. Stop doing it. Just stop. Um, the Minnesota Vikings, they even when they were losing their two games last year and all that other jazz, I was just never convinced, even with Sam Darnold as a quarterback, that they were going to succeed in the playoffs, and of course they didn't. Um, they don't ever really entertain me all that much. They just don't. And they never have. I mean, I can go back to the '70s when they went to the 4 Super Bowls and that. I was never entertained by the Minnesota Vikings. Uh, whatever that reason is, but again, they did have. I mean, they did have the 4 defensive linemen, however, who really played very well. But again, the entirety of this Vikings team, they have sucked this year. So if you want to blitz Brian Flores, you go ahead and blitz. Go ahead, because I'm telling you, Ferguson, Pickens, and CeeDee Lamb will have field days, as will Dak Prescott. Um, that'll be the ball game right there. If Brian Flores wants to continually blitz, go ahead. Go ahead. Again, the Cowboys will be playing at home, which definitely means something for this team. They play much better at home than they do on the road. That is something that really I don't understand at all. I just don't get how you do not have any type of performance on the road. You need to you don't have the fans at home to cheer you on, and that makes you play worse. You want to shut up those fans who are there at home. You want to close their mouths. And how do you do that? You play the game properly. But again, this Cowboys defense under Matty Eberflus just doesn't do that either. So again, um, they're the number 3 point scoring offense in the NFL, 29.2, I think, and but we give up 29.7 points per game. Yeah. Again, and this all goes back to the zone, the zone, the zone, the zone. That's all it is. Um, Again, you don't have the players you need to play a zone defense with. There's occasions to use the zone. Yeah, I get that, but no, not with these guys. These guys are press men players. Oh, and Matt, you may want to allow Maris Leofau out in the field to blitz. Yeah, you just might want that to happen. Oh, and Maris Leofau as well, he can cover people better than Kenneth Murray ever could. it is really a bizarre situation to see how these guys, and Logan Wilson as well, also, he has, 11 interceptions in the last 5 seasons, which is the most of any linebacker in the NFL. But, you know, let's keep him on the sideline. Well, where's your thinking, Matt? Where is your thinking? It is totally bizarre to have that many good players on the sideline. On the sideline. Okay. Well, it really boggles my mind. If Trayvon Diggs does get past Mr. Britt's training schedule, we'll probably see him play. Um, but again, I don't expect Trayvon Diggs to be anywhere near the player that he was before these injuries. That's just the bottom line of this. His injuries have ended his they've really ended his Cowboys career. Now I'm sure he's going to get an offer from some other team in this offseason. That'll be great for the Cowboys because there's a compensation pick, and there you have it. You know, it's it's a sad state of affairs because this league injuries do kill you. And I've always said Trayvon Diggs was never a great tackler, which I've always been bothered by. Um, but again, if he does play, please, Matt Eberflus, allow the man to press cover Justin Jefferson as he's done in the past. Watch those games, Matt. Watch those games. How we took care of Justin Jefferson, their big weapon. Watch those games, Matt. It's not that difficult. I don't understand why you don't understand how these players actually play much better in man defense than they do in the zone. It's not that hard. Um, again, the Cowboys will be better at home as they have been all year. Um, this should be a cakewalk of a game. This Vikings team is not that good. Um, JJ McCarthy is a young man who's trying his best. I give him all the credit in the world for going out there and trying his best. But again, you don't need all that face paint stuff and uh, all that other BS that you've been out there doing. Um, that's just putting attention on yourself, which is just stupidity. But hey, if that's what you think you need to do to play in the NFL, well, you keep going ahead and doing that. Um, if the Cowboys do play more man-to-man defense, which I really pray that they do, I have the Cowboys winning this game 38-27. If they go zone, I still have the Cowboys winning, but it'll be like 38-35. If it'll just be another occasion of seeing this defense absolutely suffer. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm tired of watching this defense suck when they don't have to. You don't have to be out there suffering that way. Again, this is all on you, Eberflus. And again, that goes to Schottenheimer as well. Um, I have no idea why they stopped using the 5-on-5 guys. It was, again, just a mind boggling decision. Um, and I hope that Schottenheimer forces Eberflus to actually play more man defense. Because, again, that is where this Cowboys team has much better luck. Much better. Yes, you give up a big play here or there. That happens to any team in man to man. But you're not giving up these, um, you know, 7-yard crossing routes that turn into 23 yards. You're not giving up the pass passes that give the receiver enough room to run with the football. That's utter nonsense. That is utterly crazy. I mean, it's why I used to get so angry watching Tom Landry's prevent defense. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, I don't like that because again, it gave the opponent too much yardage. You got to play this game for 60 minutes. And whenever Tom Landry would go into that prevent defense, I would just cringe. It drove me off the deep end because again, you weren't allowing your players to go out and attack the offense. That's what defensive players like to do. We want to attack an offense. It's no different than the offensive linemen who don't need to be going into pass protection right off the snap. They want to hit the defenders. They want to attack those defenders. Run the football. Run that football. Then the offensive linemen, they feel like they're in the game. They're part of that. They get hyped up by that. Then they'll give you better pass protection. That's the simple facts of the matter of the game of football. But hey, the understanding of football for these coaches today is mind boggling. It really is. Um, so yeah, like I said, if the Cowboys use their man defense, I'm going to say 38-27. If not, it'll end up being like 38-35, and a Brandon Aubrey field goal wins the game for them. Um, that's basically what I see happening. The Cowboys. Yeah, these out in space kill shots. That's basically what it all boils down to, Eric. Um, is that zone defense allows these guys to cut in front of the player, and the linebackers aren't in the right place. The safeties aren't in the right place, and it's just driving me off the deep end. It really drives me off the wall to see that. And again, it's probably because I played safety. It just kills me to see the way that Marquise Bell has to chase after receivers. It's not how you're supposed to be playing the game. It just isn't. So again, and everybody wants to always talk about this zone defense as being a great idea. You know who came up with the zone defenses? NFL teams came up with the zone defenses to stop Dandy Don Meredith and Bullet Bob Hayes. And yeah, the outlast mentality. Jason Garrett. I mean, that guy was just horrifying. His 9.5 season. I wanted him out after his half season, but again, JJ liked the guy, and of course, Garrett's dad was with the organization as well, and all that other jazz. So again, the nepotism just came right into play there, and 9.5 seasons of agony. But again, um, it really does boggle my mind. And yes, since Jason Garrett also does the Notre Dame games, I'll speak about Notre Dame not joining the CFP playoff and the decision not to go to a bowl game as well. Um, Notre Dame only has one method to get into the CFP because they don't play a conference championship. So when you have them ranked all year long where you had them, and then you just take it away? Oh, okay. So if you're a Notre Dame player who, these guys make good money on the NIL, um, does going to a bowl game really matter to those guys? No. And it was the players who decided this. It wasn't just Marcus Freeman and the AD. The players decided not to play. That's the bottom line of all that, you know. And everybody also knows I'm a huge Liverpool Reds fan. And seeing the Liverpool Reds going through what they're going through with Mo Salah currently, that also really sucks. I mean, Salah, who was the third highest scorer ever for the Liverpool Reds, he basically came out and attacked Arne Slot, and guess what? Mo Salah, your days are numbered in Liverpool now. That's a sad thing to see, but hey, these things happen in the world of sports. Um, but you know, it really does alter your mind sometimes the way that these players do say things like AJ Brown. Uh, Ever since they've been going to AJ Brown, what have the Eagles been doing? Losing. Okay, okay. You keep throwing to AJ Brown. You keep throwing to the guy. Go ahead. Go ahead, boys. Because you're losing that way. Yes, AJ Brown is a very good receiver, but guess what, AJ? Shut your damn mouth. Go out and play the game. Play the game. But hey, if you want to go out there and yap and yap and yap, that's fine by me as well. Um, it if the Eagles do lose to the Raiders this weekend, and I'm telling you, it's a possibility. As bad as that Raiders team has been, the way that this Eagles team has looked, look out. Look out. Geno Smith, you could have a field day. Brock Bowers, go ahead, young man. Go get your 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Ashton Genty, go run for 150. And why? Because if the Raiders do stop Saquon Barkley, guess what? Jalen Hurts isn't running the football anymore either. This isn't week 1 anymore, where he had 14 carries against the Cowboys. He's not running that football. Huh? Well, there's something to pay attention to. Why isn't he running? Oh, because Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson aren't there. I would think you would want to run the football a little bit more there, Jalen. But hey, you haven't. So again, this weekend against the Minnesota Vikings, I think Dak Prescott has a field day, especially if Brian Flores runs that football against them. That is going to cause you a nightmare. Kevin O'Connell, your boys go down just as they usually do against the Dallas Cowboys. And again, I will not be too shocked if the Raiders do beat the Eagles. I will not be shocked by that at all. And then look out, because then it's only it's only a half game lead at that point, because it's 1.5 currently. And then we'd have to hope and pray that the Washington Commanders can win one more. One more game, Washington. You got the Eagles twice. One more game. Because guess what? The LA Chargers come to town next. LA Chargers are not that good. They are not a great team. Yes, their defense is tough, much like the Denver Broncos, but that offense, Justin Herbert doesn't scare me. I don't know why everybody is so high on Justin Herbert. Yes, I was a high on him when he came out of Oregon. I was. And I told the Cuban Lion, a friend of mine on Twitter, that yes, you guys grabbed a very good quarterback, but zero playoff success. Zero. So again, I'm going to say it's going to end up being 38-27. The Cowboys will win. And if the Eagles do lose, I guess my draft show doesn't start for another week at least. It's going to be an interesting time, because if the Cowboys do win these last 4 games and the Eagles continue to lose, the NFC East belongs to the Dallas Cowboys. And as strange as it sounds, that one tie, ooh, that horrible tie against the Packers, um, could come into play here. And I'm not predicting any success for the Cowboys in the playoffs, mind you, because I mean, this defense absolutely sucks. But again, the offense can still kick people's ass. I mean, Dak has got a 200 yard lead in passing yardage already. Um, it's a scary, scary offense to face. And would I like to face the 49ers, who will be a wild card team? I would love to face the 49ers and watch the Dallas Cowboys offense actually attack them. Oh, God, yes. But, that's neither here nor there. If the Cowboys continue to win, that could happen. And we will see everybody next Tuesday night. Hopefully, after they pound the Minnesota Vikings, and we'll talk about those LA Chargers. And everybody else out there, y'all take care. And let's go, Cowboys.